The Thunder here in Sacramento to take on the Kings for the third time this season, and I'm joined alongside Isaiah Hartenstein. And guys, you are coming off a really physical game against the Clippers the other night. Can you just put into perspective just kind of the physicality required in that one, and obviously went down to the wire there?
Yeah, it was kind of more like a playoff atmosphere. So I think for us, it was a great challenge, but also great things we could take from it and learn from it. And so, yeah, that's the thing we're trying to do, just building up to the playoffs, just trying to take every experience and learn from it and get better as a team. And that was a great experience for us.
Can you talk about that crunch time moment for you guys? I mean, you don't play in a ton of those so far this season. What can you kind of take away from those experiences?
Just executing at the end of the game. I think that's the biggest thing, especially in the fourth. Every possession matters. The game gets kind of slows down a little bit. So, yeah, I think just executing, playing team defense, but then also making the right reads offensively.
And then I want to talk about one of those final defensive possessions because it was so critical in that moment. You see Alex Caruso get a great stop on Kawhi Leonard. You see Lou Dort. You see Cason Wallace out there working. What's your perspective back there as you're trying to box out Sabonis?
It was good. I think that's kind of embodies what we've been doing all year. I think it's all team defense. It's not one guy. We have great individual defenders, but I think we do it as a team, and that makes us more dangerous.
And then I just want to talk about for you personally, it feels like the lobs have been connecting really well for you as of late. What's that process been like over the course of this season?
It's been good. The guys are finding me and giving me easy looks, and it's been fun. It's been fun.
This group just seems like you guys are having so much fun out there on the floor. The growth, you guys are just taking every experience and getting better. How much better do you feel at this point in this season with this group?
We've gotten a lot better. I think just, first of all, just like building our chemistry up, also figuring out what to do in certain situations. And that has a lot to do with Mark, the way he coaches, the way he teaches. And I think we just keep getting better every game. So, yeah.
And then bringing us to today's opponent against the Kings, how important is recognizing kind of the mindset of an opponent in the Kings, knowing that they've got a lot to play for, and obviously they seem pretty hungry?
Yeah, they have a lot to play for. I think for us, just still coming out with the same mentality as we always do. Try to learn from it, and then hopefully gain something from the game. So, yeah.
And then for you personally, a guy like Sabonis, a very tough matchup. What's key in those matchups for you?
Again, just matching physicality. Physical player, passes the ball good, great on the offensive board, so you kind of have to control that. And then, again, like I said before, always team defense, and then go from there.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the time, Mike. That's Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm Paris Lawson, and this is Thunder Basketball. Coach, just coming off of that game against the Clippers where it was just so physical, a grinded-out game, just how do you kind of turn the page to tonight's game where it probably will look a little bit different with this?
Yeah, new opponent, new game. We'll see how the game's going, but they play well on offense. They're fast, they're aggressive, they score at a lot of levels, they can make shots, and we know they're going to be hungry. They're coming off a loss. They're competing for a playing spot. And they're going to be a hungry team. So, if we want to win the game, we're going to have to really earn it.
What have you liked from your defense in the last 5 games? I think you're only giving up like an average of 105 per game. Right out of the All-Star break, Denver hit you with a lot of points with good shooting, but the defense was kind of slipping a little bit. But since last 5 games, you guys kind of picked it up.
Yeah, and against good opponents too. We've defended well and defended, really, really tough teams that can really score. So, out of All-Star break, it might have been a little bit of tactical stuff, things we were looking at. It might have been opponent. It could have been shooting variance. It could have been us to a degree. So, we're definitely on a good track there. Last game especially was an excellent defensive performance, and we have to continue to keep our blade sharp. 11 games is not an insignificant amount of games, and we got to stay really, really sharp as we head towards the postseason.
I would imagine you like this type of test. As you mentioned, the Kings, they're trying to get into the playoffs, so you're going to get their best shot.
Yeah, and really our starting last game, these string of games right here are really going to test us. They're teams that all need to win for different reasons and challenging opponents, and they're all going to be earned wins if we get the wins. So that's good for us right now. We definitely embrace that, and it starts tonight against Sacramento.
How tricky is that line to walk? You want to be fresh and healthy for the playoffs, but you don't want to lose track of what you guys are doing right now to keep them momentum.
Yeah, we definitely want to be healthy. We definitely want to be fresh, but we're going to get a week off after the regular season ends for some of that. So a lot of it is habit building. A lot of it is staying sharp. These are basketball players. They play basketball. That's what they do. So we gotta go out there and compete and play and stay hungry and aggressive and urgent. And I thought that was an impressive part of the Clipper game, because that game was an inconvenient game. If you don't want to compete, and the guys want to compete. So they just kind of plowed through all the adversities in that game, and we were fortunate enough to come out with a win.
You talk about that habit building and that consistency, and no one really has been more consistent than Shea, not only just in his NBA career, but there was an amazing athletic article about him, just how he's always in the gym at 5, 6 a.m. Being the head coach of this team, what have you seen from him in kind of being the head of the snake and going down from there, creating that consistency throughout the entire organization?
Yeah, he's got a very contagious way about him, with his work ethic, first of all. He, I think, understands when we bring in a new player, draft a new player, their eyes are going to immediately gravitate to him. And he understands the responsibility of that. And fortunately for us and for our team, when their eyes go to him, they're seeing somebody that's an incredibly hard worker, incredibly consistent worker, a confident player. He's always ready to perform. He's always ready to play. He's also a really good person, and so we're incredibly fortunate that we've got somebody that's in his status in the league, that's in his position with the team, that operates like that. It has a contagious effect, but we have a bunch of like-minded guys. It's not just him and everybody else. We have a lot of guys that are like that and that gravitate to that, and it builds internal momentum for us.
I know Jalen Williams has missed the last 6 games, but he's questionable today. How is he feeling, and how's that kind of progression been?
They're all progressing. We'll give you injury updates later, but I have no update at this point.